Once upon a time, in a village nestled between hills and meadows, there lived a woman. This woman had a daughter, a bright-eyed girl. One sunny morning, the woman decided to send a hot loaf of bread and a bottle of milk to her elderly mother. The task fell upon the little girl, who eagerly set forth on the journey with a woven basket cradling the warm offerings. As the girl walked along the winding path, the sun dappling through the leaves overhead, she encountered a peculiar figure where two paths crossed. It was a werewolf whose shaggy fur hinted at the wild nature within. The beast, with a curiously polite demeanor, inquired, "Where are you going?" "I am carrying a hot loaf and a bottle of milk to my grandmother," replied the girl with a smile. "Which path are you taking? The one of needles or the one of pins?" asked the creature. The girl, innocent and unaware of the implications, chose the path of needles. The werewolf, seemingly satisfied, declared, "Good. I am taking the one of pins." As the girl continued on her journey, she hummed a tune and marveled at the beauty of the forest. The path of needles proved to be a fascinating one, as she found herself plucking needles from the ground, collecting them like precious treasures. Meanwhile, the wolf arrived at the grandmother's quaint cottage. A sinister gleam in his eyes, he enacted a gruesome deed, killing the elderly woman and leaving a grisly scene behind. The grandmother's flesh went into the pantry, and a bottle of her blood was placed casually on the shelf, like a macabre trophy. Unaware of the tragedy that had befallen her grandmother, the girl reached the cottage and knocked on the door. A voice, eerily mimicking the grandmother's, instructed her to push the door as it was blocked with a pail of water. "Good day, grandmother. I have brought you a hot loaf and a bottle of milk," greeted the girl with warmth. "Put it in the pantry, my child. Take some of the meat that is there and the bottle of wine that is on the shelf," responded the unsettling voice. As the girl indulged in the bread and wine, a small cat in the corner spoke with a mysterious wisdom. "For shame! The slut is eating her grandmother's flesh and drinking her grandmother's blood." The words hung in the air, a foreboding revelation that stirred a knot in her stomach. After the meal, the wolf, still maintaining the guise of the grandmother, beckoned the little girl to undress and join him in bed. The unsuspecting girl, obedient and trusting, asked about her clothes, seeking guidance on where to place each garment. The wolf, in a tone devoid of compassion, instructed her to throw them all into the fire. The girl, now undressed and vulnerable, found herself in a bed with a disguised wolf. The charade continued as she innocently remarked on the creature's peculiar features. Yet, as the girl innocently played along, the atmosphere grew increasingly tense. Finally, her observant eye caught sight of the deception. She realized the true nature of the beast that lay beside her. "Oh, grandmother, what big ears you have!" exclaimed the girl. "The better to hear with, my child," replied the wolf. "Oh, grandmother, what a big nose you have," she continued. "To better take my tobacco with, my child," replied the beast, the air thickening with the unspoken threat. "Oh, grandmother, what a big mouth you have," the girl innocently exclaimed. "The better to eat you with, my child," snarled the creature, revealing his true intentions with a predatory grin. In a moment of clarity, fear surged through her. She realized the danger she was in, but her quick wit came to the rescue. Panicking, she announced the need to relieve herself. "Do it in the bed, my child," commanded the wolf. "Oh no, grandmother, I really have to do it outside." The beast, impatient and growing suspicious, allowed her to go, but not without a precautionary measure. He tied a woolen thread to her foot, intending to keep her tethered to his will. Unbeknownst to the wolf, the girl cleverly tied the other end of the thread to a plum tree in the yard. As the girl stepped outside, the air was thick with tension. The wolf, growing impatient, shouted, "Are you watering the grass or feeding the trees?" Ignoring the taunts, girl hastily tied off the thread, leaving the wolf in the dark about her escape plan. In a burst of determination, she sprinted towards her home. Despite the wolf's relentless pursuit, the determined little girl successfully evaded her predator. She arrived home unscathed, her heart still racing from the adrenaline-fueled escape. However, the bittersweet reality overshadowed her triumph. Regrettably, her grandmother did not survive to share in the recounting of this harrowing tale.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to get more content like this.